Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going somewhere specific, and for anyone who has been following this channel for a while, you will know that when we go to Japan, the conversation always gets interesting. Today's entire list belongs to two manufacturers that between them represent over 2 centuries of Japanese watchmaking excellence, Seiko and Citizen. No Swiss comparisons, no caveats, no qualifications. Just 10 watches from 2 houses that have spent decades building movements, mastering materials, and developing technologies that the rest of the industry has frequently borrowed from and rarely bettered. From a Moonphase that flew to the lunar surface to a GMT that makes Swiss alternatives at twice the price look slightly embarrassed, today's list is a celebration of what Japanese watchmaking looks like when it is operating at its absolute peak. Let's get into it. Number 10. Citizen Chronomaster AQ410600A. The Citizen Chronomaster AQ410600A is the watch that most people outside Japan's domestic collector community have never encountered, and that obscurity is entirely undeserved, because what it contains is one of the most remarkable timekeeping achievements ever placed inside a wristwatch case. The Chronomaster houses Citizen's Caliber A660, a quartz movement whose oscillator is temperature compensated and regulated to an accuracy of plus or minus 5 seconds per year, a figure that conventional quartz movements achieve only with GPS satellite assistance, and that mechanical movements cannot approach regardless of price. The movement monitors its own temperature continuously and adjusts its frequency compensation accordingly, producing a level of precision that would have been classified as laboratory-grade instrumentation a generation ago. The case design is purposeful and technical, wearing its precision credentials visibly in every dial detail, and the overall package reflects the philosophy of a manufacturer whose approach to accuracy has always been engineering-led rather than marketing-led. This is a watch for the person who wants the most precise timekeeping instrument available on their wrist, and is smart enough to know that the answer does not require a Swiss flag or a 5-figure price tag. The Citizen Chronomaster AQ410600A retails for approximately $900–$1,200 USD. Number 9. Grand Seiko White Birch Spring Drive SLGA021. The Grand Seiko White Birch Spring Drive SLGA021 is a watch that belongs to a very short list of objects that photography genuinely fails. Pieces whose defining quality is a physical presence that no camera sensor has ever adequately captured, and no screen has ever fully reproduced. The White Birch dial takes its inspiration from the silver-barked birch forests of Nagano Prefecture in winter, and the hand-finished textured surface created by Grand Seiko's artisans at the Shinshu Watch Studio captures the quality of winter light, filtering through pale trunks and snow-covered branches with a fidelity that borders on the inexplicable. The dial shifts, shimmers, and transforms under changing light in a way that makes every glance at your wrist a genuinely new experience. Beneath it, the Spring Drive Caliber 9R65 delivers Grand Seiko's extraordinary tri-synchro regulation, a gliding seconds hand with no tick, no stutter, just continuous fluid motion, accurate to within 1 second per day. The titanium case with its Zaratsu mirror-polished and delicately brushed surfaces reflects the Shinshu Studio's absolute refusal to accept imperfection at any stage of production. If the Snowflake is Grand Seiko's most famous dial, the White Birch is its most quietly devastating one. The Grand Seiko White Birch Spring Drive SLGA021 retails for approximately $6,500 USD. Number 8. Citizen Promaster Fujitsubo Titanium Diver. The Citizen Promaster. Fujitsubo is the watch that the Japanese domestic dive watch community has celebrated for years, while the international collector market has largely looked elsewhere. And the nickname alone should tell you everything about the affection in which it is held. Fujitsubo means barnacle in Japanese, a reference to the distinctive crown guards protruding from the case at the 4 and 8 o'clock positions that give the watch its unmistakable profile. Rugged, organic, immediately recognizable, and about as far from conventional Swiss dive watch aesthetics as it is possible to get while remaining entirely purposeful. The Citizen Super Titanium case delivers extraordinary lightness combined with a surface hardness 5 times greater than steel through Citizen's proprietary Duratect coating process, making the Fujitsubo one of the most scratch-resistant and wrist-friendly dive watches in production. EcoDrive solar charging eliminates the battery concern that plagues quartz dive watches used professionally, and water resistance figures across the Fujitsubo family reach serious operational depths. This is a watch that earns its character through engineering rather than aesthetics, and the result is one of the most distinctive tool watches made anywhere in the world. The Citizen Promaster Fujitsubo Titanium Diver retails for approximately $450–700 USD, depending on reference. Number 7. Seiko Astron SSH-135 GPS Solar. The Seiko Astron SSH-135 is the direct descendant of one of the most significant moments in the history of the wristwatch. The 2012 launch of the original Astron GPS Solar, the world's first GPS solar-powered watch, a piece of technology so advanced at the time that it warranted its own press conference and genuinely changed what collectors understood a watch to be capable of. The SSH-135 carries that legacy forward in a package that is simultaneously more refined and more capable than its ancestors. Connecting to GPS satellites to set the time to within 1 second accuracy anywhere on Earth, automatically detecting the local time zone, and powered entirely by light through Seiko's solar charging system, the Astron SSH-135 produces a watch that is functionally self-managing across all of its core responsibilities. The titanium case with Seiko's DiaShield coating is feather-light and extraordinarily durable. The ceramic bezel resists scratching and color fading indefinitely, and the dial design balances the technical complexity of the functions it presents with the restraint of a house that has been designing watch dials since 1881. This is the watch that answers the question of what a modern precision instrument looks like when it is also genuinely beautiful. The Seiko Astron SSH-135 GPS Solar retails for approximately $2,500–$3,000 USD. Number 6. Citizen Attesa HAKUTO-R Satellite Wave. Moonphase. The Citizen Attesa HAKUTO-R Satellite Wave Moonphase is not simply a watch with a space-themed dial. It is a watch with a verified, documented connection to actual lunar exploration that makes its Moonphase complication the most literally accurate in the history of watchmaking. Created in partnership with ISpace, the Japanese private lunar exploration company whose HAKUTO-R Mission 1 attempted the first commercial moon landing in 2023, the Attesa HAKUTO-R carries mission branding that represents a real collaboration with people who are genuinely trying to reach the lunar surface. The satellite wave technology inside synchronizes to GPS satellites for timekeeping accuracy anywhere on Earth, and the Moonphase complication, calibrated to an accuracy of 1 day's deviation in approximately 10 years, tracks the actual lunar cycle with a precision that makes the astronomical connection between the watch and its mission story entirely appropriate. Number 5. Seiko Prospex. 1968 Reinterpretation SLA-073. The Seiko Prospex. 1968 Reinterpretation SLA-073 is the result of Seiko doing something that requires genuine archival confidence and design courage in equal measure, taking one of its most beloved historical references and reinterpreting it rather than simply reissuing it, trusting that the original design had enough depth to sustain a contemporary retelling without losing what made it worth revisiting. The 1968 professional diver reference from which the SLA-073 draws its inspiration was a landmark in Japanese dive watch history, and the reinterpretation honors its proportions, its helmet case shape, and its fundamental dial architecture while applying current materials technology and movement quality. The 6R35 automatic caliber inside delivers 70 hours of power reserve and the movement quality that Seiko's upper Prospex tier has come to be known for. Number 4. Citizen Series 8890 Mechanical NB606058SL. The Citizen Series 8890 Mechanical NB606058L is Citizen's most ambitious mechanical statement, a watch that draws from the founding year of 1918 encoded in the Series 8 name and channels it into a design of integrated bracelet sophistication that competes directly with Swiss sports watches, commanding prices severally multiples higher. The NB606058L in particular wears with a deep blue sunburst dial of exceptional quality, paired with a bracelet whose alternating satin and mirror-polished links flow from the case with the fluid articulation of pieces costing far more. The caliber 8 NSA movement inside beats at 28 Faust 800 vibrations per hour, delivering a smooth seconds hand sweep and a power reserve of 40 hours in a movement whose regulation and finishing reflect Citizen's commitment to raising the standard of Japanese mechanical watchmaking beyond what the price of the final product suggests is possible. The case architecture is angular and confident in a way that owes nothing to any Swiss reference and everything to the Citizen design team's own considered vision of what a modern Japanese sports watch should look like. Number 3. Seiko Prospex Black Series King Samurai SRPH 93. The Seiko Prospex Black Series King Samurai SRPH93 is the watch that demonstrates how completely Seiko understands its own design vocabulary, and how effectively it can deploy that vocabulary when the brief calls for total commitment to a single aesthetic direction. The King Samurai name refers to the oversized angular crown guards that give this watch its samurai helmet visual identity, and the Black Series treatment takes that identity and intensifies it by eliminating every element of contrast from the case, dial, bezel, and bracelet simultaneously. The result is a watch of dramatic, unified darkness: matte black ion-plated case, black dial, black bezel insert, black bracelet, that wears with a visual authority entirely out of proportion to its price. The 4R35 automatic movement keeps reliable time with a 41-hour power reserve, and 200 meters of water resistance confirms that the King Samurai's aggressive appearance is backed by genuine dive watch credentials. Number 2. Citizen Tsuyosa Automatic NJ015081L. The Citizen Tsuyosa Automatic NJ015081L is one of the most important watches Citizen has produced in the affordable automatic segment in years, a declaration that the brand, whose name means citizen in Japanese, has not forgotten the original democratic promise that the name implies. Tsuyosa means strength in Japanese, and the NJ015081L wears that name in a deep, vivid blue sunburst dial that catches the light with a quality of finish that watches at this price point almost never achieve. The stainless steel case and bracelet are built with a solidity and heft that feels genuinely premium from the moment you put it on, and the display case back revealing the NH35-based movement connects the wearer to the mechanical heart of the watch in a way that affordable automatics with solid casebacks cannot. Water resistance to 100 meters, reliable automatic winding, and day-date display round out a specification that delivers everything a daily automatic needs without complication or compromise. The Tsuyosa is proof that the decision to produce an accessible, well-made automatic watch for people who want to experience mechanical timekeeping without financial sacrifice is itself a form of integrity, and Citizen makes that decision here with complete conviction. The Citizen Tsuyosa Automatic NJ015081L retails for approximately $175–225 USD. Number 1. Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged GMT SPB 219. The Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged GMT SPB 219 takes the top position on today's list because it does something that the watch industry's most established players struggle to achieve even at multiples of its price. It is simultaneously a technical achievement, a design statement, an act of cultural expression, and a daily wearable of the highest order, all for a price that makes it genuinely accessible to the serious collector rather than the merely wealthy one. The Sharp-Edged series draws from the aesthetic tradition of Japanese artisan metalwork, the precise, deliberate faceting of surfaces in the manner of traditional Japanese blade and lacquerware craft, translating that vocabulary into watch case and bracelet geometry of extraordinary visual complexity. The SPB 219 specifically presents a deep green dial of layered lacquer depth that shifts from forest to jade to near black as the light moves, inspired by the Japanese art of Kiriko cut glass, with hands and indices that catch and distribute light in a way that rewards every new lighting condition you encounter throughout the day. The GMT complication adds a second time zone hand riding the same beautifully constructed dial without cluttering it, powered by the in-house 6R54 caliber with 72 hours of power reserve. The bracelet finishing on the Sharp-Edged series is among the finest applied to any Seiko at any price, each link faceted and finished with the same deliberate attention as the case itself.